hit the hot side of the line with my right earlobe, and in less than a second, life changed. Prior to my injury, I was very involved in my kids' life, coaching their teams, their basketball, baseball, soccer, swim team, things like that. After my accident, all that changed. No more coaching. I was in the hospital for years, having surgeries over and over and over, so I wasn't able to coach the kids' teams anymore. In fact, we missed a lot of the games. My daughter went to state her first year as a freshman in high school, and we missed it. We didn't get to go. We were in the hospital. Our son was the MVP on the soccer team. They went undefeated. We missed the banquet in the hospital. No more water skiing, no more snow skiing. Everything that was me prior to my accident all went away. Everything that was my identity, gone in less than a second. And it left me in a place trying to figure out, who am I? Who's Gary now? The consultant that was in the bucket truck with me, when that electricity hit me the first time, he was knelt down putting the test leads away in the bucket. And he heard me scream, and so he jumped up to see what was going on, just in time to see me fall into the power line, hitting it second time. And he did the one thing he should never have done. As I'm on fire, electricity shooting out of my body, and he said he just couldn't take it, and he reached out and grabbed me. Fortunately for him and for me, the fuse blew in the substation right before he touched me, and so he pulled me back into that bucket. But that night when he went home and tried to close his eyes and go to sleep, all he could see was me on fire and screaming. I was told that it took professional help, and about 2 weeks before he was able to sleep through the night without seeing me on fire and screaming. It's the impact that I had on him. I was not the lead electrician on that job. That guy was standing down on the ground. Years later, when he retired, he moved over 100 miles away, and ironically, he moved right next door to a girl that I went to high school with. And when they met one day, he told her where he was from. She said, "My friend Gary Norland lives down there." He said, "I used to work with Gary." And she said, "What happened that day?" And he turned around and walked off without saying a single word, because he couldn't even talk to a perfect stranger about that accident, because he carries that guilt that it was his fault. And he packs that guilt on his shoulders, and he's had it with him for his whole life. And there's nothing I can say to take that away from him, from anybody. And I blame nobody. It was my fault. It was my choices, my shortcuts, my complacency, everything I did that day. And everybody paid for it for the rest of their life. This presentation fits everybody because I'm not teaching electrical safety. I'm sharing an experience that will impact you in a way that you're going to want to make a change in your life. That you're going to make safety number one, not the second thing in your thought, but it's going to be the first thing you think about, so make sure everybody gets to go home. I don't want them to have to go through all that pain and suffering that we can avoid if we just make safety number one. So that's our mission, is to get people to think of safety first and save everybody from having to go through that kind of a situation and impacting their lives and their families, their co-workers, the companies, because it impacts everybody, and nobody should ever have to go through any of that if they just make safety number one.